I'm determined to keep this thing lit. Hello YouTube, Bearded Tamper here. Just wanted to do a short little video about something that I enjoy doing. I'm not by any means fantastic at it, but pipe smoking is a hobby, and all avenues of that hobby one should explore if he's going to be in it. Housekeeping. Sorry about that. The Beans favorite. And in it, I am smoking Peter Stokeby 702 Burley. Delicious pipe tobacco. A fantastic smoking pipe. This is, it's my only 7LE. My wife got it for me as a gift. Fantastic gift. I love it. I want more 7LEs. I would really like to have the 311, the poker, dolomite rusticated. It's a beautiful pipe. Absolutely gorgeous pipe. Anyway, so pressing tobacco. Again, I haven't mastered the art. I can't even say I've broken the ice. I've just kind of chipped at it a little bit. But you need tobacco. You need something to hold your tobacco in. I've seen, obviously wooden presses, PVC pipe, metal. You use whatever you want as long as it will hold and not break during the press. And I use just some plywood, 3/4 plywood. I cut on the bandsaw for my plugs. But I've made a couple. The first one, second ones, they turn out really nice. They're good. They give a different, they bring out a whole new flavor to the tobacco, and it's something I enjoy doing. The anticipation, waiting. I usually do 3 weeks, and this particular one, I did 3.5 weeks, and it came out, and it's pretty solid. This one came out not as a whole. It stuck to the plugs a great deal, and what I do is I put wax paper on one end, put it in there, put my tobacco in, and then another layer of wax paper. But the whole time I have a little kind of pack it down in there kind of tool, and then I put my plug on, and then I just use a simple C-clamp, screw her down, and then I put it in a vise. You can screw it down, but I'm only so strong. So I put it in the vise, and I, get some leverage and pour it on it, as they say. So yeah, do that, let it sit, and it will leak all over the place. I mean, these tobaccos are flavored, casing on it. So I did, this one is RLP6 and BCA. Um, BCA is, it's Cavendish, so it's all black, and the RLP6 has Cavendish mixed in it. They're both aromatics, but I was going for like a BCA sandwich. If you would, I had RLP6, BCA, and then RLP6. And it was supposed to look, you were supposed to be able to see it, but I don't know if you can see that. Everything just married together. I mean, it's all the same color, and it all came out really, really dark. And I'm just cutting it, into flakes. You just rip a flake off, really. Just kind of. I don't know if you can see. You can't really see it as good as I can. I'm sorry about that, but and it is messy, very messy. But it's something fun to do. Again, you anticipate, what's this one going to taste like, and then whenever you can do just single tobacco, and it changes it. I think, yeah, Cane Rod Piper did Haunted Bookshop, and he said that it changed it. And I'm not a big tobacco reviewer, so I can't really tell you, that it brings out the fig notes more, the molasses notes more, or whatever. But it does change it, and it seems to marry it all together well, and just round it off really, really nice. Because you can mix the tobaccos in a jar, and let them sit for a couple weeks, and it'll taste different than when you press it, obviously. So I haven't tried it. I was gonna take it out of the press, um, in the video, but I started to see if it would kind of come out easy, just to kind of see where we was at, and it was a bear. It was a bear getting out. I had to take another pipe that I was using and stack these up and get the clamp out, and I had to press the press out. But it came out. But it came out, and it was just starting to break apart. But it's hard. It is very hard, and the flakes. You see how thin this one is, and you know it's not coming apart. So I think it'll be good. Probably let it sit. I don't know, for another month. I'll try some before that. Of course, it's too hard just not to nibble on it to taste it. But let it sit, because it's pretty wet. Here's the here's the plugs that came out of it. Just the juices that have flowed out of it. The casing that's on it. It smells great. It smells delicious, but it is messy. Fingers get real messy. But I have some that I did. I bought, um, at the local. Well, I say local. It's 2 hours from me, but that's the local list, if that's even a word. No, the one of the closest brick and mortars. They have a pretty good tobacco there. It's Burley Light, and it's I believe that it's a Sutliff blend, but Burley Light is what they call it. So I don't know what it is. I don't know what Sutliff calls it. You know, the tobacco store orders it, and then it's a tobacconist. So sometimes he mixes his own, but sometimes he just takes it from the bag and then puts it in a jar, and puts his name on it, whatever he wants to call it. I don't know. He might add something to it to be able to call it something different. I don't know how that works, but I can't find a Burley Light from Sutliff, so I don't. I don't know, but it is a good tobacco, a very good tobacco. It's a predominantly burley, and from what I can get from it, maybe a bit of vanilla with it, but it's pretty good. I like it. Mm. I don't I don't use the balsa filters. I just have the insert in there, so the air flows smoothly through it, no turbulence. But I do have some 6 millimeter pipes. The one in the first video that you saw, the Bonnie Briar, that takes the paper, filter, whatever, 6 millimeter, and and I don't really care to use those because it blocks it. I like that video that King Rod Piper did on the filters. He gave them an honest try, and you can't fault a man for doing that. He doesn't like them. He doesn't like them. I can tolerate them, but something I don't like about them is that you can't run a cleaner through it, and it does restrict some flow, but it does pick up some moisture. So it's like a 30% good, to it. It's it just doesn't, the 70%'s the part that I don't like about it. So a lot of times I don't use it, but in that pipe, it doesn't seem to get terribly moist. The condensation builds up with the turbulence in the pipe. From going from your borehole and then to a big chamber and then back into the stem. But it doesn't seem to get too crazy, and I smoke everything out of that pipe. This one's starting to get a little gurgle to it, but that's okay. We'll power through that. I know I commented on not being able to keep my pipe lit, and I can't remember who it was, but somebody commented back, it's like, yeah, I have that problem too, but that's okay because I like to relight it. Or relighting it's fun too. I would agree with that. Just everything about smoking a pipe's nice. Except sometimes when you don't want it to, the bowl runs out. You're just enjoying the snot out of that tobacco and the different flavors that you get as it goes down through it. Some tobacco, the flavors stay pretty pure all the way through the bowl. But, from the first light, that nice refreshing taste of the tobacco. And then as you get down to it, it starts to get a little bit stronger. And then sometimes depending on the tobacco, it gets really strong. But all the aspects of the bowl, I enjoy. I enjoy it all. Unless you get one that's really, really wet, and then it gurgles. I don't remember this Peter Stokeby being that wet last time I smoked it, but maybe it was. But that's my little review about just my amateur pressing. Um, Let me know what you think. If you've pressed any, I know I've seen Kane Rod Piper press some, and I've seen Bremen Pipe Smoker press some. He did a he actually inspired me to do one, the same way that he did it. But he did, he's gonna do like coins, and in the center was a Cavendish, and then the outside, was like a Virginia or something. But I used a Burley, and the center I used a Cavendish. Um, so that's pressing. I'm waiting to see. I think that's about a weekend. So I'm waiting to see. That was difficult to do for me. He made it look pretty easy, but then again, he's a professor, and I am not. But I love watching Bremen Pipe Smoker. That the German accent, and then he just goes around showing everything. Well, not everything, but he goes around showing some historical landmarks, or just takes you around the countryside, and I like that. That's something I would like to do, like pipes and kayaks. Just standing out in the middle of the woods is still pretty good video. Well, at that, I think I'll say farewell and hope to see you again.